Hello guys, welcome to a project showcase for a game I've been working on for the past several months. This game I want to kind of showcase because I want to gauge how good you guys think it is and if you think I should continue on with it, because I don't really want to continue the project if it's not going to be that popular, but also I want to continue it because I think it would be fun. So the basic idea for the game is it's a programming game, so you have to actually program your unit to do things. So if I move over, this little thing right here, that is my unit, and he's inside a terminal, his home terminal. And on the left here is where I can program. So to talk about the first command that I can do, I can type in something called move, and I can type in move 100, and that'll make me move from this home terminal down the path 100 here into this top terminal. So if I run this, I move over and the unit's now in this terminal. And I can do the same concept to move through each of these paths by just taking move 200, move 300, move 101, which moves through this path, then through this path, and then through this path back to the home terminal. So it's like going in a circle. And there's also this idea of labels, where I can create a label up here, and then I can say JMP, which is short for jump, and I can jump to that label. And this will simply now go to the bottom, and once it reaches here, it jumps to the label and it resets the code. So I'm essentially just moving in a circle now. And this game will be competitive, multiplayer competitive game with a ranking system. So let's say two of you guys make a program. Your program could go through the server and compete against each other to see who wins. So there will be like an enemy unit here with an enemy program that somebody else wrote, and they will compete against each other to basically figure out who's the best. And there'll be a ranking system as well, like I said. So like for instance, if your code is good enough, maybe it goes through bronze rank, silver rank, gold rank. No, just the better programs do better. That's the idea. So how do you win a match against another program? You want your score, which is at the bottom here, to be at 100%. So that's the victory. That's the main goal. There's other things down here like registers. This is like data that you can store, so like variables essentially. There's health, which if your health goes to 0, your unit dies and it takes 10 ticks to respawn. So it's like in any game where you die, I guess any RPG where you die, you gotta respawn. You have your temperature here, which if you get too hot or too cold, that's how you take damage. So you can't do direct damage to a unit, it's through temperature. So as each command gets executed, your temperature goes up. Different terminals, like this terminal has a temperature of 80. The more time I spend in this terminal, my temperature will slowly go up to 80. But of course, other terminals, like the home terminal, has a temperature of 50, so normal. And anyway, how do you get score? How do you get points? The way is by owning any of these 3 terminals. It's like Capture the Flag or King of the Hill. So you want to own any of these terminals. So if my unit owns one of these terminals, I'll get points. If the enemy owns the terminal, he'll get points. The way you do that is by you take data from your home terminal, from this file right here, and you can look at it, hover over it. It's randomized every match though, so you have to read the data from this file and write it out to the buffer. So this is randomized, so I can't just like copy that 176. If I run it again, the values are 927 this time. So how do you do that? Well, I can come up here and I can say something like read, which is the command for reading from the file. And I made this program up, so there'll be documentation on this and there'll be tutorials later. So yeah, so I can read from the first index and I'm going to read it to the register 0. I can also read the second piece of data and the third piece of data. And now after I move to register or to terminal, this top terminal, I can say write, and I'm going to write from register 2, write from register 1, and then write from register 0. Now if I run this, I read it, I come here, I write into the buffer, and now I am the owner of this terminal, and you can see my score going up. I can do the same thing for all the other terminals. So after I move, I will write, and then same thing here. And there we go. Now I'm going to read, move, write to this terminal, come down here, write to this terminal, come down, write to this terminal, and now I own all three, and my score is going up a lot. But again, this isn't any fun without something to compete against. So I can click this difficulty here, and this isn't anyone's program. This is just one that I pre-coded to, for testing, because I haven't gotten server-side programming working yet. I'm going to do that probably next. So if I run this now like this, now I have somebody to go against. Of course, his program is actually the exact same because I pre-coded it myself. So nobody's going to end up owning any of these terminals because we're both trying to write to this buffer at the same time. So nobody ends up owning it. So we need to find a way to get the advantage. And that is through these properties right here. If I come to here, I can do things like change my name, like the program name. So instead of program, maybe I want it to be the best program. I don't think I can spell program only. There's a character limit. The best. I'll just call it the best. I can also change the color. So if I don't want my unit to be green, I can change it to like blue. And there we go. Now my name is the best and I am blue. But the main cool thing is these components right here. These are like talent points for any RPG game. So I can allocate right now up to 15 points to any of these talents, and they will modify how the program works. For instance, right now I only have 4 registers, 4 variables I can use, but I can put some points into bonus registers, and if I run this, you'll see I now have 7 registers to work with instead of the basic 4. Or I can allocate points into my favorite component, multiprocessor, which increases my processing speed, how fast I execute commands, but it will drastically increase how much each command increases my temperature. And to remember, if my temperature gets too hot, I take damage. If I take damage and die, it takes time to respawn. So I'm going to put some points into here, and you'll see if I run it, my unit will start running a lot faster than the enemy unit. But as you see, my temperature is going high, and then I'm going to die, and it's going to take me time to respawn. Now, right now, my score is way higher than his score. But the thing is, because of that, because I keep having to respawn, because I'm taking so much damage, over time, I've simulated this before, he will catch up to me, and he will still win because of that respawning mechanic. So I probably want to either write the code a little better or try to figure out better components to use, because there are better ways to do it. And remember, you'll be going against other people as well who may also have these components, who may also be using different combinations of any of these components. So you'll have to figure out the best way for you to deal with that. A few other things that I've implemented already is something like error checking. So, if I do this and I run the code, I'm going to get an error, and I can show the console. Error on line 1, read, got the wrong number of arguments, expected 3, got 2. That's because this command requires 3 arguments. There's also warnings. So if I run this command, temp, into register 3, let's say, I'm going to get a warning. So what this command does is it reads my temperature, so I can get my unit's temperature and store it into a register. So like maybe I decide to write a code that says if my temperature is more than 75, then do something. I don't know. It doesn't matter though, because right now I can't even use this command because I'm missing the component. If I go to my properties here, there is a component here called temperature reader, which allows the use of temp command, which allows you to get your unit's temperature. And it even shows you how to use it. Temp register. But if I click that and I get this component, and I rerun it, no warning, and you can even see under register, the third register, it is getting the temperature of 59, which is what it was when it read it. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you guys think this is a good idea. I, for one, do like this idea. I would use it, but it might be a little too niche. I mean, a game about programming, like, the average gamer might not like this. And if it's going to be an online game, it's better with more people. So will it be that popular? I don't know. I'm hoping you guys think it will be, because I would love to finish this project. And maybe I'll just finish it anyway, just because I want to. I don't know yet. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. So anyway, until next time, guys, I'll see you later.